Hey guys, welcome to my Rhythm of Life, and today I'm super excited because it is Mompreneur's tea. Meryl is one of those mompreneurs with a major superpower. She can speak more than one language, more than two languages, more than three languages.
Yeah. Sanibonani, igama lami uMeryl, 我住在北京5年。Ngina bantwana aba, 我有4个孩子，我是南非人。
Without further ado, we're gonna dive into your story about your journey as a mom, as a business owner, and how you hustle in Joburg. But we'll do it in English and over a cup of tea. Let's get into it. Who's Meryl? What's she about?
I am a wife, a mother of 4 children, and I am the director and founder of ZuluMites, which is an organization that teaches children between the ages of 2 and 8 isiZulu in a fun and interactive way. So the difference and the value add for ZuluMites particularly is that the entire lesson is done in isiZulu, but we use music, movement, dance, cooking, baking, arts and crafts to teach practical and fun themes to the kids.
Let's talk about the journey into ZuluMites.
My husband speaks many languages and I'm an educator, and so together our passion is multilingual education. Mm-hmm. And we started a preschool to that effect in 2015, the first trilingual preschool in South Africa. And yeah, it really stemmed out of a desire for our own children to be able to speak many languages, to not grow up the way that I have grown up, which is not speaking particularly an African language, but just to be able to cross a racial and linguistic and cultural divide. It was really important to us right from the beginning. So yeah, they were the inspiration behind ZuluMites, as most things are, and they are the reason that we started that business.
Can you unpack some of the fruits that you've seen in benefits in terms of language development in your children?
It's been, I've seen so many benefits, things that we didn't even know were there when we started. We have been blown away. There's neurological pathways in the brain that have been formed that they wouldn't have had if they had only grown up in one language. There is problem solving and creativity in there, just the ability to not think of things from one dimension, to see that there is like more than one aspect to the same thing. It's a great problem solving skill. And yeah, just interpersonal relationships, to be able to assume different accents, to inhabit a different persona with different people, because they have had to deal with Chinese people and what Chinese culture is like, and that is very different to African culture and African. I taught English, which is my first language, to Chinese people living in China. And so I know what it's like to be a teacher of your own language, and how you have to grapple with some of that content, to unpack it for somebody who's referring to it for the very first time. So I felt like I had insight into developing something quite unique, and that I love to train teachers in the way that we did it. Just as I learned Zulu myself and alongside my children, it came very naturally that I would take what I'd learned and apply it to a situation, create content that was engaging, and it actually be super effective. I now divide my time fairly equally between homeschooling and running the ZuluMites operation as a manager.
Talk about the challenges of being a homeschool mom and a director of ZuluMites.
I think that the biggest challenge has been to know when to put that ball down, because it was done for today and we did our best, but it's finished now.
Let's go.
And we can move on and we can try again tomorrow, or pick that up again tomorrow. The weight of motherhood and the weight of the business used to just weigh so heavily all the time, and now I realize that there is just actually a lot of seasons that there are busy times, and you should push through those busy times, and then there are times where you can give yourself permission to back off, to take a break, to focus on the family, to get back to basics, to get the important things right again when chores are out the window and nobody's doing what they're supposed to be doing and no one's had a home cooked meal in a very long time, then you need to actually take stock and go, you know what, the other stuff can wait and this is more important. So I think, just knowing that there is a pull and an ebb and flow of seasons, and also knowing that it's okay to put things down, that it's not all so intense all the time.
That's good. What mom hacks do you have for mompreneurs that just makes life a whole lot more easier for you?
I would. It seems like so small, but for me it makes a big difference, and that is around meal planning, like having groceries in the fridge and a plan for what's for dinner and some options, whether that's ready-made meals. For a long time I would spend a particular amount of money, and part of the budget was for cooked meals that somebody else had cooked and I'd frozen and just for those nights where you are stretched thin and it is literally, you have to just put it in the oven. Honey, won't you stick that in the oven? I'm not closing the door and you're not going to see me for the rest of the evening.
What business hacks could you give to moms who are currently doing their business? What is that?
Sunday night checks, check in with the week, they just reviewing what's happened, looking ahead. I feel more prepared if I don't arrive on Monday morning and bricks are flying at my face and I haven't actually thought what balls I was supposed to really get in the bag this week.
What words of wisdom could you give to mothers who are thinking about starting their own business?
Well, I would say a definite one is make sure that whatever business you decide to start, that you are supremely passionate about it.
Supremely.
This is not just really, it's going to require so much of you, and you're going to have to ask yourself the question of why you do this so many times. Just if you're passionate about it, if you love what you do, if it comes naturally, if you're good at it, it's not that it won't feel like work. That's a little bit of a myth. It does feel like work, but you'll remember why you're doing it, and the fact that it is worth it to push through. But one of the great blessings is that you have ownership over your time and your family and your schedule, and for the most part those things are dictated by you.
What does it look like for you when your cup is full?
My favorite thing actually is like a bath, a candlelit bath with some like soft music when everybody's gone to sleep and it's just me.
Quiet time.
Just having those peaceful moments, and then you kind of like go, okay, we can face whatever the day has for us. So those are really important. I do take time out. I run. I get out of the house. That's a big one. Just because when you work from home and your kids are at home and everything is at home, escaping home is really good.
Get out of here.
To avoid feeling cramped and cabin fever. Someone walks in and he's like, what have you done today? I'm like, if only you knew. Actually, I couldn't possibly encapsulate all the things that got done because of me. Not least of which is cutting everybody's toenails, which seems to be the bane of my existence. But
and that's Meryl.
Hey, and that is what I do in a day.
But anyways, this is from Tanganda. Thank you so much. They have a whole bunch of different teas in here that you can enjoy at your leisure. From Zimbabwe.
Yes, my husband is from Zim, so he's going to be so happy to see some of these in our kitchen again. And it's been an absolute joy to be with you and to share a little bit of hope and encouragement, hopefully, for the next mum hustling her way through mompreneurship.
It's real. It's real.